Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we learned of the mysterious pasts of Mr. Jack Hammer and Miss Dee Vazquez, or Vazquez, however you pronounce that to get the pun to sound just right. And we also got attacked by the Mafia, but in another fit of competency, Dick Gumshoe saved our lives. I know. I'm shocked too. Anyway, day 3 of the trial. It's the final day. Let's go. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Is that a pun there, Phoenix? You're not too good at this. Alright. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss Dee Vazquez to the stand. Miss Dee Vazquez is a producer who was present in Studio 2 that day. Well, she's looking calm for somebody that just got, arrested for trying to have her mafia friends kill somebody. I'm just saying. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Dee Vazquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Yeah, okay, wow, he's just getting wrecked by all of his, witnesses, isn't he? Okay, well, very well, Ms. Vazquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Yeah, I bet you'd like that, Nick. I bet you would. Day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Van added to the court record. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not about to present this. I just want to examine this real quick. Manelli used this van to drive Vazquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. Interesting. Okay, entered the trailer a little before noon. Nothing too suspicious. Ended at 4. Or so afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Fatigued. Had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. Wait a minute. Ended at 4. Rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Okay, I'm gonna have to just press on some of this. Namely this. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. T-bone steaks. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Oh, Nick, find anything? Kind of what she said? Okay, yeah, we heard a little of that. Evidence that she didn't eat the T-bone steak, huh? You began at 12. Be a rehearsal. Fatigued. 15-minute break. 8 T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. I'm gonna give this a shot because, and like, I know this happened a little quickly, so that like maybe you couldn't pay too much attention to it, but if you go back and look at the plates on the table in front of Studio 2, or the trailer, those plates looked a little too clean. As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. Well, what's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee room. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vazquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Make no bones about it, there were no bones on those plates. I would not be cast as a writer for this game, and I have come to terms with that. Miss Vazquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. Well, I mean, if she ate a T-bone steak, it wasn't clearly boneless, and she doesn't seem like the type to have pica, so I doubt she would eat the bone too, so she didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vazquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was, well, I mean, maybe a little of that, but no, she was meeting the Steel Samurai. She's meeting with the Steel Samurai, what I just said. Order. Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vazquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. She's looking a little nervous. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vazquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Because, I mean, duct tape was used to mend it, but she is a tiny, tiny woman indeed. Tiny. tiny, tiny. You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see... Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Wait, what? Okay. Apparently we have proof? That's when it was mended with duct tape. I can barely see it there. You can't zoom in. I am confused. We need proof. I got 5 hit points. Let's give it a shot. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon, because my reasoning for this is that it's mended with duct tape. I mean, that's flimsy. You know, like, if you're stabbing somebody with a spear and they're armored and is being held together with duct tape, it's not going to be perfectly intact like that. That's my reasoning anyway. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you'll... Silence. I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Well, I don't have it with me, per se, but I present this. Look at this photo. Graph. Doesn't it make you I don't know the lyrics of that song. It's a meme song anyway, who cares about it? Well, what is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. You can't do that. It's the last day, Judgy. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Oh snap. Mr. Wright! Continue. I was, but okay. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Ms. Dee Vazquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. Uh-oh. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? She's looking a little too smug. Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One? And returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Well, she told us herself that this van is in working condition and she got fatigued, so, you know, she had Sal drive her places, so she shouldn't have brought it up, yo. Miss Vazquez, you carried the body to Studio One, and you used the studio van to do it. We got her on the ropes, yo. Recall your testimony. Flashback. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. And flashback. You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vazquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Yeah, because remember the costume, it went missing. Aha. Well, Miss Vazquez, shall I continue? Uh-oh, she's looking smug again. No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean Dee Vazquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? She does have a point. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vazquez! I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn. Damn! To come so far, only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vazquez. I'm sorry, what? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Nice one, Edgy. I see. Very well. Your Honor. Okay. I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see what we have... I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vazquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily I say, ergo, I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldback, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldback was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see. No issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Alright, I don't see too many contradictions in that, so I'm just going to press everything. With Sal and Oldback, the security lady found the body, hold it. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Let's press a little harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy? The witness will continue her testimony. Okay, we're just gonna press on everything. Powers was absent, but the assistant was there? Okay, wait a minute. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember? Remember? What? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seem calm enough when I accuse you of murder. Press further. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vazquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting that location. No one noticed he was missing. More powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vazquez. You may continue. But yeah, a little lapse in logic on Phoenix's question there, because, to be fair, if somebody was murdered and somebody's missing, I personally would not go looking for them, because then, my survival instinct kicks in, because, that missing person might be packing some kind of heat or something. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for the Popo to show up. Speaking of the Popo, what was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So he stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silent. Hey Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Alright, shut up, Maya. Okay, he did it, but how would she know? Old Bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Press a little harder, though. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph? Being the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You left out of the proceedings. Why, though? You asked to be left out? Yes, it seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. But let's press a little further on that. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Miss Vazquez, please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vazquez says she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. But you see what that means. She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Okay, I thought this game was called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, not Miles Edgeworth Ace Prosecutor. I'm just saying. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution will make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vazquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal the director. Just checking something. Oh, we don't. I just have to go on memory on that one then. Just checking the profiles. I don't think it'll say anything. And I refuse to believe he's 23, okay, but... They're not saying anything, because I can't remember who... No, the director was there for the run-through. Or no, it was just Old Bag and... I can't remember. You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. It was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. What we do? Susan was there too. Powers were absent. We called the police. Okay. Just going back to the last statement. Trailer get the script and direction notes. And then the Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. But either way, she wasn't there for the injury. She didn't know. But what can we use to prove this? I'll give it a shot? You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Huh. I didn't get that slip of the tongue, but okay. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have... Okay, so yeah, it was Manella, but not her. Alright. So yeah, with the whole told me thing, but still, the slip of the tongue. I did not catch that. I was just going along with the fact that she wasn't there to witness it, but okay. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vazquez. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vazquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness! Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vazquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? I guess I can use that? Of course I can prove it. Oh wait, no! I wasn't paying attention to what I... Sorry, Maya. That was me. That was me not reading. But I meant to say I can prove it. I wasn't paying attention. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Bop, bop, bop. Boom. This is my proof. This is the photo from before? This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vazquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vazquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vazquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. You do have a point. Because why would the blackmailer have a motive for killing the blackmailee? And there's really nothing I have here that can pin that on her. I mean, Cody's camera, Bad with Glory, Mr. Monkey. I mean, come on now. Shoot, I got nothing. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It's Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vazquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So, you did it, didn't you? Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Not the best meltdown. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Ah! Miss Vasquez! What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs! Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm! No! No! How could this? It was an accident! Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please, please don't die! Please! Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vazquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Yeah! And there's Will standing right there in the middle. Oh, okay. That is all. The court is adjourned. So yeah, it was self-defense. Because think about it, like, why would the blackmailer kill the blackmailee? No, it would be the other way around. The blackmailee is tired of getting blackmailed. So he's like, you know what? I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm about to kill a fool. Blam, blam. What it do? But then, oh no, it didn't work out that way. He kind of, made a misstep. And I mean, that trailer looked kind of rickety anyway. So plus he's in a big bulky costume. So he probably lunged at her. She was like, oh no, bitch, move. And like pushed him. And then he fell off the rickety steps onto the spear fence. It was like, oh no. And then, yeah. Mr. Monkey's head, did that even come into play as evidence? Well, whatever. October 20, 112, District Court, Event Lobby number 3. I don't know what to say, brother. Thank you so much, dude. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad, Jack. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that you want to kill Miss Vazquez, dude. But think that he tried to frame me for the murder, brother. It makes me sad, Jack. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Do I have evidence? Why would he blame you? Is it because he felt he was the rightful Steel Samurai? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in the kids' show as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand, brother. He could have just told me, dude. I would have changed places with him anytime, Jack. I think you're missing the point. Thank you, brother. I'm just glad it's all over, dude. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more, dude. Can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong, brother? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Oh, he's looking pretty upset. Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vazquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you, dude. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. I see you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yo, this ain't that kind of visual novel, Edgeworth, okay? Yes, unease and uncertainty. This ain't that kind of visual novel, yo. Aren't those kind of necessary? You only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. But you're both lawyers, so that's... And if you take opposing sides, that's kind of impossible, but alright, whatever. Mr. Wright, is this guy your friend? What? Friends? As if? They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closes on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Seems kind of like a downgrade from Steel Samurai, but alright, whatever. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time, so... He's playing the Pink Princess? Yeah, whatever, it's 2017. People can do whatever the hell they want. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. The end. As for the whole connection between Phoenix and Edgy, well, you're just gonna have to wait to see what that's all about. Oh, yuck. Ooh, next time, turnabout goodbyes? Interesting. Interesting indeed. So, yeah. That's that chapter. Honestly, I feel that's the weakest chapter in the game. But it's still a decent enough chapter, but still, a case of self-defense. Not to mention, you don't know what happens to Dee or Sal. I mean, I guess she would be, she wouldn't do any real prison time for the murder because, self-defense. But she could still be charged for blackmail and trying to cover up a murder. Maybe they won't even go with the self-defense route. They might go for involuntary manslaughter. Because of the fact that she tried to cover it up. But I think that's a separate crime in of itself. And then you have Sal that's an accessory to the crime. So it's kind of messed up that the studio would still continue to operate. But I guess, studios, producers and directors are contracted to work in the studio. So the studio probably itself wouldn't go under. So that's a separate thing entirely. But yeah, I guess they want you to kind of feel sorry for Dee. Because, with Manuel's death, it's obvious with the way she reacted that she was close to him in some regard. And Jack didn't mean it, but still, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. But yeah, the next 2 chapters are my favorite chapters in the game and are really great and excellent and just, So yeah, those are going to be a big step up from this chapter. And I'm not saying this chapter was god-awful or anything, but come on. It could have been a little bit better. Even the first 2 chapters are memorable. This one was just But at least we got that little teaser about the relationship between Phoenix and Edgeworth. Maybe that'll come into play next time. Who knows? So, thank you all for watching Emperor Day, and see you next time for more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where we start Chapter 4, Turnabout Goodbyes. Goodbye.